Arteta and Arsenal. Sky Sports News understands that Arteta is expected to commit his long-term future to the club soon. The relationship between the manager, sporting director Edu and the Kroenke ownership is so strong that formal talks are not seen as necessary. There has been a flowing conversation.
Welcome and welcome to the present. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, be kind enough to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Like the video, very important. Subscribe. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Yes, you saw that report by Sky Sports. Mikel Arteta is close to signing a new contract. Good news, great news. Even though there'll be some portion of Arsenal fans who don't care, who don't want to hear that, all you're concerned about, what are we signing next? I'm not saying we shouldn't sign players, but keeping the gaffer who is building this formidable team. Even though some of you argue, what has he won aside from the FA Cup he won in his first 6 months? Yes, he hasn't won much, but if you look at the team, he's building, or he has built. You can't ignore the fact that he came in and met a shit show that Emery left behind, and Mikel Arteta decided to build a formidable team. In the last two seasons, we've been competing aggressively against Manchester City. See, in the last few years, we couldn't compete. That's just facts. We couldn't even match up to Man City or Liverpool. But in the last 2 years, we've competed for the league, not just match up, and we lost the league by just 2 points. So no matter how you like to slice it, if you want to actually follow the offensive narrative of the rivals who don't owe us objectivity sometimes, which I think is crazy sometimes, but I understand football tribalism, you cannot just not give Mikel Arteta his flowers. He has done a wonderful job. The unfortunate debate that was triggered by AFTV in the last few days comparing Emery and Arteta is so unfortunate. There is no way any rational CEO in 2024 will consider Unai Emery above Arteta. I'm not writing off what Unai Emery has done in the past, winning the Europa League for Sevilla, right? I think for Sevilla, his exploit in the last 25 years of managerial career. Arteta is barely 5 years into his managerial career. Even the comparison is not even fair. And if you look at what the both managers are doing in the last 4 or 5 years, Arteta is obviously the better manager in terms of style of play. Some of you argue, oh, Arteta is in a much bigger club compared to Unai Emery. Let's not do that. We saw what Unai Emery did at Arsenal. It wasn't just good enough. There's a reason why the Spanish clubs, the two biggest Spanish clubs in Spain, in Barcelona and Real Madrid, never consider the services of Unai Emery. There's a reason for that. He doesn't do well in big clubs, and there's no problem with that, right? He doesn't know how to handle the charisma, the expectations of big clubs. But when it comes to mid-table teams, that is his forte, and there's no problem. So that's why the comparison sometimes is just crazy. One is showing the signs are clear, the evidence is clear, but Arteta that he knows how to do great things with big clubs. Some of you should say, how many trophies has he won? One more time, he's barely 5 years in his managerial career. If Arteta was in Germany or in France, he would have won the league there. We know how competitive it is, right? In England, competing against the juggernaut of Man City. You can't in one side of the cheek be praising Manchester City and Pep for what they've done and saying they have the best team, the best squad, the best manager, right? The best infrastructure. And Arteta, who is barely 5 years in his managerial career, right, who has come to an Arsenal, who was in the dungeon and is trying to rebuild them, and he has competed against the same Pep the last 2 years, and so what has he done? He hasn't won a trophy. This trophy is rolling. He's just 5 years in his managerial career. Pep is almost 15 years in his managerial career. Emery is almost past 20 years. So the comparison is not even sensible. But I understand the context of right now, what we see use of club speak, Arteta or Emery. Obviously, Arteta, the trajectory is right there. The evidence is right there. The style of play is right there. Dealing with bigger players and ego is right there. So there's no need to compare apples and oranges, in my personal opinion. So going back to the contract negotiation of Mikel Arteta, I think it should be done real quick. You heard there's no need for formal talks because he has a fantastic relationship with the Kroenkes and Edu. There's mutual respect. People tend to forget that Arteta is not a head coach. He's a manager. Even though we have Edu with the sporting director, Arteta is a manager, meaning his opinion is heavily regarded in terms of how the football club is run. in terms of recruitment of players and sales of players, Arteta's opinion has to be sorted before final decisions can be made. He's not a head coach, because most head coaches, they just deal with what the sporting directors want. But when you're a manager, you have to work in tandem with the sporting director. So it's looking great. There's no need for Arsenal fans to panic whether Arteta will actually throwing the towels or jog along. No, he's going to stay at the Arsenal for a long time. He loves the club. He has played for the club. He understands the fabric of the club. So it's a great thing. I'm happy to have Mikel Arteta as my manager. Since his exploit, I'm happy for the future he's creating by the team he's building. Look at the average age of the squad. Look at how we play the game. Look how he sees the game. Look at the fact that he's very, very ambitious and tenacious. Gives me room for confidence that the trophies eventually will roll in. It's very evidential. I understand some of the Arsenal fan base are impatient with how we have won in the last 2 seasons. Sometimes you need a bit of luck of injuries, as well as luck of fixtures sometimes. Eventually, with the preparation we are putting in, the quality of squad building, the luck will come in. And some of you will be offended that this transfer window is not moving the way you want it. The way you want it doesn't make it the objective, right? Like, people are calling for signings. But you have to understand that bringing in signings is kind of delicate. You don't want to bring in signings who will not take you to the next level, who will not influence you. We don't just go and bring in signings for the sake of bringing in signings so your egos can be boosted. No, we have to bring in signings who will move the needle, who will take our team to the next level. And those kind of signings are far and few in between. Let's be fair. The market is not littered with a lot of quality players. There are a lot of average players going for huge exorbitant prices. So we have to mellow down and be rational. I am not against us not bringing the signings. It has to be the right signings and affordable signings. There's FFP. There's the fact that you have to bring in the right signings. So these things have to work in tandem. Not just bring any kind of signing, people shouting. I saw the rumor for Lookman. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, bringing Lookman to do what? He's not just good enough. Is he better than Reece Nelson? You watch a few highlights with a nice background sound and some speed up, and you think a player is messy. Calm down. It doesn't work like that. So Mikel Arteta, our manager, knows what he's doing. In collaboration with Richard Garlick, Edu, the sporting director. They know what they're doing. So regarding this new contract, I expect us to announce it very soon. I don't think, Arsenal can be very, very laid back in terms of announcement. They keep things to their chest for a long time, and they like to do things the proper way. I know before we get to Christmas, that Thursday will be announced. There's no need for formal talks. There's a healthy working relationship with him and the owners and the sporting director. So they don't need for too much modalities and paperwork, because, like the report said, there is a very, very good relationship between the owner and the sporting director. So I'm happy. I'm excited. Aside from a lot of people are always expecting signs and signing, Arteta signing a new contract for me is as important as any new signing. For me, more important than any new signing. Because these days we overrate signings. A manager who is putting this wonderful squad together deserves a pay rise, deserves to be kept. And we know Mikel Arteta is one of the few managers right now in 2024 that you can see, obviously, he is a manager that will hit the heights. He will win a lot of trophies. He knows what he's doing. He knows his football. Look at how he doesn't take so much to convince players to buy into his project. The players respect him. They see what he's doing. So we as Arsenal fans, we have to be very, very grateful to have this manager. I understand some naysayers who wanted to replace based on the fact that it's easy to be chaotic. But if you take away the toxic chaos, you take away the roller coaster and look at things in good perspective and in goodwill, you have to come to the conclusion that Mikel Arteta is a fantastic manager and is fantastic for Arsenal Football Club. So if you agree with me regarding him potentially signing a new contract, and you want him replaced, let me know why you want Arteta replaced. I would like to know. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Educate me why you think Arteta will not be the right man taking this football club forward. Let me know in the comment section. If you agree with me that Arteta is the right man to take our football to the next level and bring the trophies, let me know in the comment section. On your way out, one more time, like the video. Very, very important. Subscribe if you're new, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more time, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.